As an immigrant to this country, I would like to say a few words to my fellow Americans. President Trump sought to overturn the results of an election, and of a fair election. President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever. The good thing is that he soon will be as irrelevant as an old tweet. I'm very aware of Kristallnacht, or the Night of Broken Glass. It was a night of rampage against the Jews carried out in 1938 by the Nazi equivalent of the Proud Boys.
Arnold didn't just criticize Trump, he dismantled him. Calling him the worst president ever was just the warm-up. Then he compared Trump's actions to Nazi Germany. Yes, he actually went there. And just when you think it couldn't go any further, he brings up the Proud Boys, and you won't believe what he said next.
I have a great idea. Why don't we switch jobs? You take over TV, because you're such an expert in ratings, and I take over your job. And then people can finally sleep comfortably again.
And they hired a big movie star, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to take my place. And we know how that turned out. The ratings went right down the tubes. It's been a total disaster.
So being from Europe, I've seen firsthand how things can spin out of control. I know there is a fear in this country and all over the world that something like this could happen right here.
Donald Trump tried to mock Arnold Schwarzenegger over TV ratings, but Arnold flipped it instantly. Let's switch jobs, I'll take yours. That one line crushed the whole argument. Arnold didn't just shut Trump down, he turned it into a moment America wouldn't forget. And what happened next? Even more humiliating.
Stop whining. Whining doesn't change anything. Every time I talk lately to environmentalists and to policy people, they said to me, says Arnold, what is the point of fighting for a clean environment when the government of the United States says climate change is a hoax and coal and oil is the future? When the politicians in Washington don't care. You know what I say to them? Exactly what I said in my movie Kindergarten Cop to the kids.
Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't do drama, he does action. When people complained about the climate crisis, he had one reply: stop whining. Arnold called out Trump's administration directly for denying climate change, for clinging to oil and coal, and what Arnold said next, even his fans weren't ready for it.
No, look, when you belong to that club, you've been a governor, you know how difficult the issues are, how complicated everything is. I think the most important thing is that, people work together. Doesn't matter who it is. I always stress that the Democrats and Republicans work together, because what's going on now is politicians always try to divide us, and that's not healthy.
Arnold Schwarzenegger reminded everyone of one thing: real leaders don't divide, they unite. Democrats, Republicans, doesn't matter. He exposed how Donald Trump and others profit off division. But the warning wasn't just for Trump. Arnold was calling out all of Washington, and it's what he says next that hits even harder.
All over the world have been calling me distraught and worried about us as a nation. One woman was in tears about America. Wonderful tears of idealism about what America should be. Those tears should remind us of what America means to the world. Now, I've told everyone who has called that as heartbreaking as all of this is, America will come back from these dark days.
Arnold Schwarzenegger said it loud. People from around the world are calling him. One woman called crying over what America's become. This isn't the country I believed in. That moment hit Arnold and viewers like a punch to the chest. But what he says next, it gave millions a reason to hope.
It was a meeting with members of Congress, and some of them spoke about what the president said. This wasn't exactly anonymous sources.
Thank you.
Melania Trump, an immigrant herself, also caught up in the middle of another immigration flashpoint. And this time, it's a family affair. Her husband's opposition to so-called chain migration.
A guy comes in, and then you have to bring his aunt, his uncle, his father, his grandfather, his grandparents.
Arnold Schwarzenegger talked about immigrants, and suddenly Without saying her name, the focus shifted. Melania Trump. Yes. Donald Trump's own wife, an immigrant. Arnold didn't attack her, but the silence around her status, it became deafening. And what followed made it even more personal for Trump.
I think that you're a person who is trusted on both sides, and that's very rare nowadays. And I think probably Donald Trump doesn't want you to be trusted because I don't think Donald Trump likes you very much, to be honest. True? Yeah.
A host looked at Arnold Schwarzenegger and said, "You're trusted by both sides." Arnold just smiled, and that silence, it said everything. Donald Trump depends on loyalty, but Arnold, he has respect from the left and the right. And that kind of power, Trump can't stand it.
I mean, the very fact that he doesn't want us to write off our state tax, I mean, that's a direct attack on Californians. So I don't think that he has been good for California. I don't think he cares about California. And I think California doesn't care about him.
Arnold Schwarzenegger fired a shot straight at Donald Trump. He doesn't care about California. Then Arnold doubled down, and California doesn't care about him. That wasn't a political jab. It was rejection, cold, clear, and final. And what Arnold says about Trump's real motive next, brutal.
Famously said that the Republican Party has a problem at the box office. I heard you equate the GOP with the Titanic. Explain.
Well, you know, I told the Republican Party and at the Republican convention, it was like 10 years ago, that they're dying at the box office. And the reason why I said it was because their policies were such that they were not really including everybody, so that they have everyone interested. Like, for instance, women. 1 million women left within a few years because we did not address as a party healthcare issues, we didn't address education issues, we did not address environmental issues. This was three issues that were very important to women.
Arnold Schwarzenegger warned the Republican Party years ago, "You're dying at the box office." They ignored him. Now women are leaving the GOP in record numbers. Why? Arnold breaks it down. Healthcare, education, the environment, all neglected. And if you think that's the worst part, it gets worse.
I think that's the past. And I think that we have to march into the future. And I think there are very talented people in this country on the Republican side that can run. So I will go, look in the future rather than in a rear mirror. But the Democrats and the Republicans, both of the parties, have no interest in solving this problem because they use that to raise money. Mm-hmm. And so what they do is they just keep pointing the finger at each other, and then they're surprised if all of a sudden we are using our middle finger on them, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's all bogus, because I think that we can do better than that. Democrats and Republicans, and when they talk about Democrats and Republicans, even though I'm a Republican, I tell you, it is sometimes disappointing. And then I think even just when you look at the symbols of the party, think about that. I mean, the Democrats, donkey, Republicans, elephant. And the donkey's a jackass. And of course, wherever the big animal goes, lives a pile of dung.
Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't stuck in the past, but he says Donald Trump is. It's time to stop looking in the rearview mirror. Arnold called out both Democrats and Republicans. They don't solve problems. They raise money off division. Then Arnold dropped the wildest metaphor you'll hear today, and trust me, it sticks.
It's sad to see that they couldn't come up with a new talent, with a new face that is a reasonable, smart, intelligent person that can lead this country in a Republican way. Well, they will be buying into it because they want to buy in. Mm-hmm. Even though when they hear the evidence and when they see, like, for instance, Fox with Tucker Carlson and all this being fired by spreading the wrong news, and Fox going to court because they have lied intentionally, not mistakenly, intentionally, over and over again about this. I mean, it's like, people hear that, but it doesn't mean anything because they just want to believe the election was stolen.
Arnold Schwarzenegger said it straight. They couldn't find new talent. Instead of fresh voices, the GOP leaned into Donald Trump, and Arnold didn't hold back. He exposed how Fox News knowingly lied and people still believed it. This part, it'll make you question everything about modern politics.
This is all dialogue. This is rhetoric. The left going after the right going after the left. I mean, the bottom line is they should get together rather than always pointing the finger at each other. They should really get together and solve this problem, because that's what the American people want. They want to have this problem solved.
Everyone expected Arnold Schwarzenegger to tear into Trump, but he surprised everyone. I don't criticize presidents outside our borders. That's class. And then came the real message. Americans are tired of whining. They want heroes. Arnold didn't attack, he led. And what came next might be the most powerful moment yet.
I hope that Arnold attacks Trump and says some really terrible things about Trump, right? But that's not my style. First of all, I have a rule. I do not criticize a president outside of our borders. No matter who it is, no matter what party he belongs to or she belongs to. Second of all, I know that the people are sick and tired of the whining and the complaining and the doom and gloom. They want heroes. They want more complaints. That's not what we want, and that's not what we need. We have to win the people over. And the only way we win the people's hearts and minds is by showing them action that makes their lives better.
Arnold Schwarzenegger circled back with one final message. We win hearts with action, not noise. He didn't mention Trump here, but he didn't have to. The contrast was already obvious. And as his words echoed, it became clear, this wasn't just a speech, it was a challenge. So now the question is, was Arnold Schwarzenegger just making a statement, or was he exposing something Trump didn't want anyone to say out loud? We've heard Arnold call out Donald Trump. We've seen the moment Melania got dragged in, and we've watched as silence turned into spotlight. But, what do you think? Did Arnold go too far, or did he finally say what needed to be said? Let us know in the comments, and we read every single one. Drop a like if you think more people need to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe, because the next video, it's going to hit even harder, and I'll see you in the next one.